Okay. I think now's be a little bit longer. I really need to set up a starting screen. That'd be a good idea. Okay, so today it is the start of the Pokemon FireRed Leaf Green Team Shiny Showdown. Or Shiny Showdown, whatever it is, but Team Showdown. Yeah, I'm on Team Leaf Green for this. And while I don't expect any massive hitters, we do have 6 hitters so far. And I do have a specific target in mind. We're going for the Eevee. This is something I wanted on my team, because I'm doing a shiny only run in this save file, and I already have a shiny start, so why not go for the Eevee as well? Probably should have put the Farfetch'd in the PC, but oh well. Hello, Bill. Hello. How you do today? I got a bit confused when you called me boss, but I thought it was someone else for a second. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Streamvale. I'm doing good today. Thank you. Yes, I do have a bottle of water, or flavored water. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I've got Gamer Stuff beside me. Yes. So, and if I do ever need extra hydration, and if people need to remind me, there is the Redeem. What flavor? I got Blowhole Blast. My favorite flavor. I've got almost 10 tubs. I think 10 tubs is about accurate since the flavor first launched. So I think I might be a bit addicted to it. Oh, while I'm here, I should probably also get a picture of my trainer card when it comes to the... Yeah, because when it comes to submitting our Pokemon, we have to show our trainer card as well when we're displaying any gift Pokemon. And since Eevee is technically a gift Pokemon, yeah, it might take a little bit. And yes, it requires the trainer card picture. And because this is Generation 3, it is full 1 in 8,192 shiny odds. So there's a very good chance that we might not get anything. No clue. Am I sorry, am I talking too fast? Am I talking too fast? Oh, Crimson, thank you for the resunny. Thank you. Oh yes, hydrate. I shall, Crimson. I just have no knowledge. Oh, fair enough. To find a shiny Pokemon, it's an extremely low chance. I think that's the most simple way I can describe it. So if it's not a shiny, in Eevee's case, it'll be brown, and as you can see in the top right, I can't speak. It'll become a cream color once it becomes a shiny. That's just the case for this specific Pokemon. It's just a rare discolored Pokemon. Like how albino creatures work in real life. Yes, we are indeed shiny hunting. We have to try and get as many shinies as we can for the team. And considering the showdown only started like half a day ago, 6 shinies in this generation. That is really good. Again, I don't expect to get much, but if I can at least get the Eevee or get a good amount of encounters into it, that'll be really good for me. I don't know how well it will do, because with my Blastoise, it took about 40 minutes of resetting. I don't think I'll get anywhere near that lucky with the Eevee. I will not get that lucky with Eevee. There's just no chance of that happening. Another thing that happened, Pokemon Champions released today, which is a free-to-play Pokemon battle simulator. And you can even transfer like your own Pokemon in there from other games. So if you've never played a Pokemon game before, and you feel like you want to get into it, I think Pokemon Champions is a good way to start if you like to do the battling. Although if you don't have a Switch, you might have to wait a little bit because the mobile version doesn't release for maybe a couple more months. But fingers crossed, it doesn't take too long. I've heard rumors it might release in June, which isn't that far away. I don't know if I'll ever do a stream on Champions. I mean, maybe I'll do a couple. Maybe I'll see if I can slot it in next week. I can see that being a possibility. No, I don't want to look at the Pokédex. There is another game that is releasing later this month. I think it's on the 18th or the 20th. I think it's the 18th. It could be the 16th. I don't remember exactly what date, but a new Tamagotchi Live game. Originally, I didn't care too much for it, and then when I played the demo, then yeah, I definitely want to get the game. I'm definitely not streaming it day one. Like, I won't be able to get the game maybe another week after. But I definitely am looking forward to it. And with the demo, you can actually just like make progress and then just transfer it to the full game. Although from what I've heard, it's not good idea. It's not a good idea to open up like the clothing store in that game because it will turn the demo into just an advertisement. Because none of the Miis will interact normally. They'll literally just turn into retail adverts. So that's the furthest progress I've made is right before that quest. Again, I don't know if I'll ever stream it. Because, I mean, there is a possibility I might stream it, but because there's quite a bit of touchscreen stuff I like to do with it, because of all the face paints and stuff, it's mostly the face paints. Oh, so what am I doing here? Don't need to be in the nickname thing. Yes, mostly because of the face paints. And I kind of wish they would do like a Switch 2 update to be able to do mouse controls for that. Because that would be really helpful. And when it comes to this Eevee, I plan on evolving it into a Jolteon. Because I could go for a Snorlax. I mean, I am going to go for a Snorlax. But I need to make a bit more progress in the game first. And I was basically speedrunning to try and get this at this point in the game about an hour ago. Because I hadn't even gotten the SS ticket from Bill. So I had to leg it, essentially. I got through 2 different gym badges. There's a bunch of trainers I need to go back and defeat, but oopsies. Yeah, I'll probably defeat them with Eevee, or it'll probably be a Jolteon already. The only downside about this Eevee, it skips one of its main stat moves, so I'll probably have to give it the TM I got from Surge. Oh yeah, with this showdown, if you do end up finding a wild Pokemon, you do end up needing 3 screenshots. Your trainer card. I'm pretty sure the trainer card. The trainer card, the actual encounter, and the status screen of the obtained Pokemon. So maybe I'll get lucky and find a wild shiny, but if I don't get the Eevee during the showdown, that will be it. And since I only have one device I can stream from, I'm not even close to reaching the limit. I mean, it is possible to go for one of the Game Corner shinies, and it would be a bit more beneficial because multiple encounters per reset. I mean, maybe you'll consider doing that on Leaf Green. Oh yeah, I am. Despite me being on Team Leaf Green, I am playing FireRed. It's not against the rules. We're fully free to choose which version we'd like. But the only reason I'm not on Leaf Green is because that save file is my Professor Oak's challenge. I think the main reason I've delayed doing my Oak challenge for a little bit is because I want to use RNG manipulation to get shiny Entei in that save file. And it'll be a little bit before that's all sorted out. And I'm not doing it in this because we're not allowed to use RNG manipulation. It's strictly forbidden. If we get caught using it, I'm not going to use it anyway because it can't. Then obviously we get disqualified. But I've not gotten a single RNG manip shiny in these games. I've only gotten legitimate wild shinies, or in this case, one shiny each game. On Leaf Green I got Eradicate while I was doing level grinding, and obviously in this game it's the Blastoise. So compared to the last Team Showdown event I was a part of, this one is a lot more slow paced because the last one we were in was Legend ZA during the Wild Zone Showdown. And, whew, yeah, that one... There was so many shinies in that. Just because Legend ZA is so easy to get loads of shinies. I mean, I've gotten so many, I've got enough to have a completed living shiny dex. So one of every possible shiny Pokemon in the game. I wouldn't have done it for any other game, but because the game was so easy to get a shiny Pokemon in, that's what I ended up getting. I do need to do another run through of the game just so I can get another set of the legendary Souls of Justice and the Lattes. But it'll be a little bit before. Jolly nature. Jolly's a really bad nature for a Jolteon. I need a nature that benefits the special attack in that. So if I can somehow get that alongside a shiny Eevee, that'd be really good. So natures like modest or timid would be really good. I think overall, this is actually my third showdown that I've taken part in. The first one was the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Madar showdown, where in the month of May we just shiny hunt using the Poke Radar, using basically any game that supports the Poke Radar. So Diamond Pearl, Platinum, XY, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. And I got a decent amount of shinies from it. Although the last shiny definitely traumatized me from ever using the method again. But I didn't want to end on a bad note. I got it in the end. I think I've got, at most, maybe 6 or 10 shinies for that event. There's definitely a couple of dupes, I think. Oh no, I never reached 40 because I never did the 40 method. Because the 40 method was traumatizing for me because with how it works in BDSP, it's just I just believe it's completely rigged. The only time I ever managed to get to a 40 chain, the chain broke on the 40. And it was on a Weasel. But thankfully later on I did manage to reclaim it using the same method. And that was right before the Madar Showdown started. Okay. Oh yeah, with the new Pokemon Champions, you know, it's actually possible to shiny hunt in that game. Although it's not as effective as most games, it's not really worth shiny hunting in the game. But when you recruit a new Pokemon, there's a chance you get a shiny. And somehow I got really lucky and got a shiny male Basket Legion. So I get the feeling I'll probably be using that on a rain team. Oopsies. Oh, I pressed too many buttons. Oopsies. So you've got the plans of building a rain team for champions. So far I've got a singles team, an incomplete doubles team, because I want to include one more Pokemon there. It needs to do one final job. Because I don't know if we'll be able to send them back after linking them to... I mean, I would assume we can link other games after Champions. Because it doesn't actually send them to the champions game, it just copies the data. And then you just can't send them over to a different game. An adamant nature. That's a horrible nature for an EV. Like, for every evolution in Generation 3, all of them are special attacks. Oh, Vale, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, all the EV evolutions in Generation 3, because of how the typings and move types work, all the typings of the evolutions are special types, so the special attacking stat benefits those types more. So instead of having a special or physical type based on what kind of move they are, it's based on the move type they are. So for the evolutions, water, fire, electric, dark, and psychic are all special types in Gen 3. And once Generation 4 came around, then the physical special split happened, and it made a lot of Pokemon much more viable because their typing wasn't restricting them because of their limited move pools. Although for Pokemon like Jolteon, it kind of suffered a little bit because, yeah, it didn't get access to Bite anymore. Yeah, Hidden Power is an option, but Hidden Power is very tricky. Because you need to get the perfect type on that Pokemon. You can't change your Hidden Power's type either. So once you get a specific type on your Pokemon, that's it. And if you didn't get the type you wanted, tough luck. Because not only is it the type that changes, it's also the base power that changes. So if you get really unlucky and just get the same type, and like 30 base power, that's just brutal luck. Because literally Thundershock can do more damage, for example, if we were putting it on Jolteon. Yeah, Hidden Power Water or Grass, I think are better for Jolteon, just because its only weakness is ground. Okay. So I'm thinking with next week's schedule. I know it's like really ahead of time thinking about the schedule for next week, but I'm thinking maybe I'll try out a bit of Champions on stream while also doing Scarlet Violet, both the competitive stuff. Because with Scarlet Violet, I'm using that to try and get my Mamoswine, which is my current Ribbon Master, to get the final ribbon. And what a Ribbon Master is, essentially, there's a little bonus reward in the majority of Pokemon games, where if you complete, it's basically like an achievement system. If you get a certain amount of rewards, or complete specific objectives with a certain Pokemon, or any Pokemon that can do it, they get a little achievement called a ribbon. And a Ribbon Master is basically getting all of those achievements. And if you want to go a step further, you go for a true Ribbon Master, as I like to call it, which is a Ribbon Master that was from Colosseum or Gale of Darkness, because it was a Shadow Pokemon, and it must be compatible with every possible game that has a ribbon. So if it doesn't have a ribbon, the game, then that's completely fine. The Pokemon doesn't have to worry about it. But if it does have a ribbon, and the Pokemon's inaccessible, it loses the true status, in my opinion. But it doesn't mean it can't be a Ribbon Master, because every possible ribbon that specific Pokemon can obtain. So, if you wanted to get a Meowscarada, that one's a really simple one to Ribbon Master. The hardest one is the Rank Master Ribbon, which is the one I'm trying to get on my Maros. But I'm not the most competitive player, so getting to Master Rank is a bit of a pain. So I made it to the one of the Great Ball tiers, the second highest Great Ball tier. So I need to complete the Great Ball tiers, complete the Ultra tier, and then get to the Master Ball tier with the Marowak in my team. Because that will qualify for the Rank Master ribbon, and then I never have to worry about my Ribbon Master again until they add new ribbons, which will probably be wins and waves. Because Legends EA didn't have anything. I don't know about Champions. I don't think there'd be any new ribbons. It's got its own built-in achievement, so I don't think they'll have ribbons for specific Pokemon. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if people manage to data mine the game, see if there are any new ribbons. I don't think there will be any, but at the very least you can set ribbons, because I've seen ribbons or marks be set in battle. And yeah, so with those two types of ribbon masters, there's also another kind of ribbon master. But it's a bit more tricky to obtain, and not as legitimate. But the glitch ribbon master. So using glitches to obtain every single possible ribbon, even ones that are limited to like championships events. So doing that is unbelievably difficult. Well, not as difficult as doing it properly, because you just need to get lucky with the coding. But I don't plan on doing that because I want it all to be legitimate. But I think I want to try and go for maybe at least 200 or 300 encounters. And that's probably not the best for a Gen 3 hunt, but this bird's got his limits. I do kind of wonder what the next Showdown will be. Because I can't really think of anything that would be presented, unless it's like a repeat of another one. Unless it's something in Let's Go. That could be a possibility, doing it in Let's Go, but obviously not using any chain combos, just basically full odds for Let's Go. Or Shiny Charm odds if you already have the charm. Because the catch combo in Let's Go is a bit broken. Because for years, everyone assumed that doing the catch combo would affect the odds for every next shiny, or every other Pokemon that spawned after the combo. But as it turns out, the real way to get the combo working, it would only affect the odds of the next Pokemon that spawns, so you'd have to keep catching that Pokemon. And the more of them you catch, the more the odds will stay running. At that point, there's no point. You might as well just get the shiny charm. And then get a chain of 10 or 11 just to get that Pokemon spawning more frequently if it's like a rare spawn. But then after that, just keep resetting the area. I personally found that way more effective. And I got a shiny Ditto within maybe like 20 minutes. Well, that was Timid Nature. Oh, that'd be a good nature. Plus speed minus attack. So, yeah, what was I thinking of earlier? The next week's schedule. Obviously, I'm going to include a bunch of Pokemon on there. So, Scarlet and Violet, maybe Legends ZA. Probably Champions, if I'm feeling up to it, to do it on stream. Yeah, at the moment, I don't really know of any other games I want to do on stream. I mean, if I end up getting paid before Tomodachi Life releases, maybe I'll consider doing a bit of that on stream. Because there is a possibility. I guess another possible shiny showdown that could happen. Maybe a Dynamax Adventures one? That's a possible one. Challenging but rewarding in the end. Although I haven't done that one in a while just because of how time consuming it is. For one encounter, like 15 minutes to get an encounter, and there's not even a guarantee you'll get the legendary. And since Sword and Shield Online is basically dead, yeah, that'd be a good thing to use for a Team Showdown event. Because then everyone participating could just connect online randomly. And then, yeah, that'd be actually really helpful. Although the matchmaking would still not be perfect, because there's no guarantee everyone would connect to a streamer. Then again, they might have already done one of those, so... I mean, to be honest, they probably did, because the first time I participated in one of these events was before I became a streamer, and that was like a Pokédex Team Showdown event. Just getting as many shinies to complete a Pokédex as possible. And I was just a participator at that point. Okay. I think with Champions, I enjoy the game, but I think one thing it's definitely missing, well, not just missing, it's lacking. It should have had all the Mega Evolutions from the start, I think, and more health items. Oh, and Necro's here. Hello, Necro. I see you'll be sneaky there. I see you're being sneaky. One team I was going to start off with was having a Mega Swampert team, but unfortunately, the Hoenn starters are not in the game yet. Despite the fact that they're one of the few trios of starters that actually have their Megas. The Kanto starters, the Kalos starters, the MZ starters, and the Hoenn starters. All sets of starters with their Megas. And yet the Hoenn starters were left out, and the Alola starters were kept in. They much rather would prioritize Incineroar than allow the remaining sets of Mega starters. And plus, even all of the new Mega Evolutions didn't even get added yet. All the ones that were introduced in Legend ZA, some of them are still missing. I assume maybe next month during the second season, possibly, they might add them. And I'm hoping there's a time when we can use multiple mechanics in a single battle. At the moment, we can only use Mega Evolution, and well, I'm not complaining, it's the best mechanic. I do want to try out something like what happened in the Pokemon Journeys anime, where all three of the main regional mechanics were used, although in this case there's 4 regional mechanics. But we wouldn't be able to do that unless we were in doubles anyway, so Mega Evolution, Dynamax, Z moves, and Terastallization. Maybe with the regulations, maybe not everything will be made available instantly. Like maybe we'll be given waves of different mechanics, and then in some cases we'll be using multiple mechanics at once, but not all of them. But I think at the very least, Mega Evolution needs to be permanent in all the regional stuff. Or all of the VGC stuff. Mega Evolution just needs to stay permanent. I don't want to see it disappear ever again. Even if it's not in the next mainline game, we have it in Champions, and that's probably going to constantly update with each new game coming. Okay. Fish nature. Well, it's not the nature I'm looking for. It's still obviously the shiny I'm looking for. I think 120, maybe 140 an hour sounds realistic. But I don't often stream for long, so there's a very good chance I might not get the shiny during this event. And since I only have one device to actually record, it's going to be a bit more of a pain. I can't just like boot up my physical copy of Leaf Green because that's already gotten every single Pokemon possible. Well, not really, but okay, it's not accurate at all. But it does already have the Eevee, so I can't just dual hunt it. Why does not have to be so long? My own nature. I'm so tired today. I literally had a 9-hour sleep. I should not be tired, yet I am. Because I had to fix up my sleep schedule because the day before I woke up at 1 in the afternoon. If I didn't have to leave the house for work every week, maybe gotta get the blood pumping? Possibly. Possibly. It is definitely possible. I mean, then again, this bird has chronic fatigue, so I think even if I did do all those methods, I'd probably still be tired. But I do need to get back in shape. I do agree with that. Boy. And that's the other shrimping. Ugh. Such a good stretch. I needed that. We don't rest like normal people. Nope, we do not. Sometimes I feel so tired that I want to get to sleep, and then I'm sitting or laying down, relaxing for the next like 3 hours, wondering why I haven't fallen asleep yet. And then some days I'll fall asleep long before I intend to, and then it messes up the sleep schedule because I wake up way too early. And at the very least, I've got things to help me out just to force my sleep schedule back into place, like sleeping gummies. I've even got some sleeping hot chocolate, which is a bit of an odd thing to have, but hey, I'll turn down a hot chocolate tonight. Yeah, the hot chocolate's like a sleep support drink. You would think I'll pass out for an hour and then be awake until 4 or 5 a.m. and have to get up at 6. I don't know how to break it. Oh no. That sounds like literal torture. But yeah, that has happened to me a couple of times. Thankfully, it wasn't on a day where I actually had to be busy, but it has happened to me. And we've also hit 100 encounters. That's good though, because you can take it easy. True. Because at the moment, technically, I've only got a part-time job, so it's only once or twice a week. They actually have to have a shift. But even then, it's worth it in the end. I do want to try to get more shifts, though. Even if it would mean I have to stream a bit less. It'd be all worth it in the end. Thank you for the head pats. But she's always great. Yeah, Necro, if you have seen that schedule for this week, there's a good chance that next week might be somewhat similar, but with the inclusion of champions. Because at the moment, there's not really that many non-Pokemon games I want to play right now. I think maybe when the new Tomodachi Life game comes out, I'll consider streaming it. I'm getting it. Originally, I didn't care much for it. And then when I played the demo, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting this game. BiriboFukuro, hey, nice! I haven't gotten the game yet because I didn't have the funds for it. I had to budget. But hopefully I do get some payments soon. No more than 3DS. I mean, fair enough. And I'm planning to get the one on the Switch, so I might not get the 3DS version. And then demo made me fish and so oh nice. For me, I just took some of My Hero Academia characters and just plopped them in there. Plus my original character my original character from My Hero, which is like my trial of creating personal characters for like my own stories. That was like my practice running away. But then I ended up just creating like an alternate universe by accident. I say alternate universe, but not that much really changes from the main story. Just an extra set of characters joins in the fray. The main character in this little alternate universe I made is another member of Class 1A, because why wouldn't you throw your OC into the main heat of the story? And then her brother, who happens to already be a pro hero for a few years now, and obviously the mother, who does have connections to some characters in the story. As far as I remember, I don't think there are any other characters I created for the story, just those three. There was originally the fourth like father character, but I honestly couldn't really think of a way to like write him in, so I feel like maybe I could use him as like the reason that the main characters become heroes in the first place. Because everyone needs like a motivation, so maybe that could be the motivation. But it can't be similar to what all the others have. It's got to be something on its own, unique. I can't just have it like a villain in the family, because that's Shoto's thing. I can't just have it. Yeah, the main thing I have to avoid is the villain in the family, because that would take away all the steam from the main character who actually needs that. Yeah, with the Tomodachi Life stuff. I was getting off track, sorry. With that Tomodachi Life world, I was considering just putting as much of My Hero Academia characters as possible in that world. So ones that have purpose, like important characters, fun relationships in there. Not everyone in Class 1A is going to be there. Because, well, mainly because I don't give a shit about Mineta. I don't want to put it in the game. Because he's obviously going to... he would just be a placeholder. Probably some 1B members, maybe some of the heroes. Like, just a good old collection of characters from the series. Probably not anyone from Vigilantes, because I'm still yet to experience Vigilantes, despite the fact we're 2 seasons in. And I already have all 15 volumes of the manga. I should really just read the manga. That's what I need to do. Because I feel like it'll be a long time before the actual anime is finished. Because it seems like they're not doing what the main story did. 13 episodes for season 1, then 25 episodes for the next seasons. So there's a good chance Vigilantes might be like 8 seasons long. If they decide to adapt all of it. And they also need to do team-up missions as well. So this week, or this month, like financially wise, it shouldn't be too bad. I need to buy another ticket for the expo because I need Mother Heartbeat to come along. And that's really the only thing I can think of that I'll need to sort out for this month, besides subscription stuff. So hopefully it'll be a nice, more chill week. Or chill month when it comes to money. Well, I'll put a good chunk of it into savings, just so I've got stuff to spend at the expo. Yeah, me and Atreus both going to the expo this year. I haven't seen if there's any like changes on who's attending, like the main guest stars. I have, yeah, because I don't know who's going yet because it's like so early. I assume they're waiting to announce stuff like much later on, once they're closer to the event, just so they don't announce someone and then all of a sudden they can't go anymore. I assume that was what they were planning. So I assume once it gets closer to September, then they'll probably officially announce the main guest stars that are showing up. Nope. Yeah, with those back on that other topic of those MHAOCs, I think I need to do more like concept art for some of the characters. Like I did some concept art for each of the main OC, but I need to rework what I've done just so she'll have a more up-to-date look. Because how am I going to say this? Like, the original purpose of the concept art was for like a D&D style thing. And that D&D style thing was basically how I managed to sort out her power and quirk just so it's not broken. But I need to update the concept art just so it's not in the dystopian future that I set her outfit to be in. So it's like a more whole piece. I'd probably have to do a version during the UA days as well. And then with the older brother character, I decided to call him like Yuki. Originally, I was going to call him Yuji, but then I realized that Yuji Takahashi was the name of a popular music composer, so I couldn't really do that. And then with the name Yuki, I realized, oh, I could just have his power be snow related, since in Japanese, snow is Yuki. So, yeah, that ended up working out really well. Like, not ice, like, not gonna take away Shoto's thing, just snow. Like, think of it, if you've seen One Piece, the Harpy girl from the Punk Hazard arc, like, her powers. Like, essentially just the Yuki Yuki no Mi from One Piece. That's essentially what his powers are. And yeah, with all the characters, I've of course I've sorted out like relationships and romances with the characters because why wouldn't you try and do that? Then with the mother character who I called Chizuru, obviously the husband no longer in the picture because of the backstory stuff. But yeah, I think I ended up like having it so she's a close friend of Lady Nagant. But be interesting that way. Then Yuki would have a romance with Mirko. Because I like Mirko, so why not? And Ishiko with Kyoka. So just overall characters I like. And in the end, it doesn't hinder the story whatsoever. I mean, maybe some minor changes would happen, like maybe Mirko wouldn't lose her other leg and her arm. Maybe she'd still lose her left arm, but maybe in this alternate universe she'd actually have to be able to keep more of her limbs. I don't know. Timid one. Yeah, I think when I was first doing those OCs, I think there ended up being like loads more characters, like a much larger family, but I cut it down drastically because there's no way I'd be able to write that many characters. I mean, even then, I haven't actually done like a proper story for them. Just concepts. Like maybe once I've sorted out my passion project, maybe once I've sorted that out, maybe I'll do a bit more of that parody of My Hero Academia. It's less of a parody, just yeah, it's alternate universe. What am I saying? Maybe I could do a bit more on that. But yeah, with the Tomodachi, I don't remember whether Tomodachi Life, the new one, is it the 16th it releases, or is it like the 20th? Or maybe the 18th. I don't remember the exact date. The 16th. Okay, so the 16th. Okay. I'll have to see when my bonus payment comes in. Maybe I'll be able to get lucky and get it early. I probably might be able to actually. Let me just do this encounter. I'll actually have a check when it's supposed to come in, if it's even been planned. Because this bonus payment only happens if I don't make enough from work. But... So, let me just check, because this is going to be stuck on my mind if I don't check now. Like, I had that feeling there's something, like, the word or the person's name stuck on the tip of your tongue, but you can't figure it out. And you have to figure it out at that point in time, otherwise it would drive you crazy. Like, that's what I'm experiencing right now. I have to check, otherwise I'll lose my mind. So I might be at this for a little bit. I need to figure it out. Oh, there we go. Okay, figured it out. 13th. Okay, so I think I'll actually be able to pre-order the game then. Like days before the game launches, I get the bonus payment. So I might be able to pre-order the game after all. And, ooh, package is on the way. I assume maybe within the next week. Does it say? Just in transit. Yeah, I may have bought some anime figures. I mean, why not? Why not have more anime figures in my collection? Because I've been so invested in One Piece lately, I bought some One Piece figures. Ended up buying one of Nami and one of Robin. Why wouldn't I get figures of my favourite Straw Hats? And hopefully, by the end of the story, more Straw Hats end up joining, because there's a few characters I wish were Straw Hats already. Because I can list down probably at least 5 more characters I hope will be Straw Hats by the time the final arc is finished. So, I think I'll go in by chronological order of characters who I think should be in the series. Never caught it in one place, but do it. Don't crush on it. I mean, to be honest, a lot of people do. Robin's quite a lot of people's favourites. And if it wasn't for another character, she would be at the top. But I do love Robin when she treats Chopper so cutely. In the most recent episode of the anime, I think it was filler, but Chopper ends up getting drunk on the plane, and he's just laying in Robin's lap, and she's giving him head pats. It's so cute. Like sometimes she'll come up with the most morbid, like explanations for why someone's not there, and then she'll just do that. But yeah, the other characters who I think should join the Straw Hats, Vivi. I feel like it's being set up to be that. Because technically she is a Straw Hat, she was a temporary member. And then once Alabasta finished, she technically didn't continue with them. But with how things are going in the series, I feel like she'll probably make a return by the end. And hey, maybe Karu might join her? Like, it's definitely possible Karu might be able to join her. It's possible. The second one, Carrot. The mink from, when it was between the Zoe arc, the Whole Cake Island arc, and the Wano arc. She was part of the crew for those 3 arcs. And those arcs were huge, and she was a part of it. So, I hope she ends up joining the crew by the end of all that. Because she's basically a crew member at this point. And then Yamato, who's Kaido's daughter from the Wano arc. She even said she wanted to join the crew, but it seemed like she decided against it at the last second. So I feel like she's taking some time to herself to really be herself, instead of trying to be someone she's not. Well, by being her idol, obviously at the start of the story she was trying to be her idol so much, and so my guess is that she's not part of the crew now because she wants to find herself, and then she'll join the crew as Yamato. Oh, hello, Chiaki. Hello. And yeah, the other crew members I hope join. Lilith. Now, if you've not seen the most recent arc, the Egghead arc, you won't know who Lilith is. But let's just say she's one of the new main characters in the Egghead. I hope she ends up joining the crew in the end. And the final character... Oh no, not final. Or the next character, who I think is probably going to happen. Either it will happen and he'll join the crew, or he'll just be an ally with the fleet. Loki, who is a new character from the Elbaf arc, who I don't even know anything about. All I know is that Livia Essence joined the crew. I don't know anything about the Elbaf arc yet. as much as the anime has produced, that's the most I know about the art. And the fact that Loki's asked to join the crew. I don't know if he'll join. I don't know if he'll just join the fleet as part of like the giant pirates. I forgot what the pirate name was called, but yeah, either he joins the fleet or he joins the crew. And the last one, I feel like Trafalgar D. Law. I feel like he's probably a candidate. With recent events, I think he has a good chance of joining. And I guess an honorary mention, not to join the Straw Hat crew directly, but maybe join the fleet. I forgot what the name of the pirates are called, but the pirates from Amazon, the ones led by Boa Hancock. I feel like her pirate crew might join the fleet. Because I just see that as being completely likely. She's not going to join Luffy's crew, but I feel like, yeah, she would 100% join the fleet at the very least. So, yeah, hopefully, at least some of my predictions end up coming true by the end. Oh, another member. I forgot about one person. Jewelry Bonnie. I feel like she needs to join the crew. Like, even if it's just the role of, like, the cabin boy, even though she's not a boy, but still. That is, a realistic role. It's a role in a good chunk of pirate crews. Even Gold Roger's crew had that. So, she could probably join the crew for that role. I'm sorry, she doesn't exactly have her own pirate crew anymore, so it's just her and Kuma. I don't know what happens to those two in the Elbaf arc, but I assume they're still fine. See, it'd be nice to see if Bonnie ends up joining the crew, because I don't think the world government will be too keen on just letting her go, because they know where her home is, so they kind of have to live on the seas. And since the crew's gone, they might as well stick with the Straw Hats. So if Law doesn't end up joining, then Bonnie can easily take his place. Or they could just both be there. And maybe while they're at Elbaf, they could make an upgrade to the Thousand Sunny, just to make it larger. So in case Loki does join, then there'll be more space for him on the ship. And with Frankie and Lilith there, they'd 100% probably be able to upgrade it in such a short amount of time. I think I need to just like catch up on the manga portion of the Elbaf arc, just so I know what I'm going into with the anime. So I think it's every Sunday is a new episode for the anime. They also said it was one episode for every chapter. I don't know how well that's going to be for pacing. But I don't think there's that many chapters at the moment, so I feel like if they do it like that, because it's now a seasonal anime, they have plenty of time to catch up, and plenty of time for the manga to stay ahead. I feel like that's why they're doing it, just because there's not that many episodes they could adapt with a weekly thing. Because normally it's like 3 or 4 chapters per anime episode, and they would probably get through like 20, maybe 30 episodes, and they'd probably catch up with the manga if they did it with that method. So I feel like that's why they're doing one chapter per volume or per episode. Just so there's a distance between the most recent anime episode and the most recent manga chapter. I think, as usual, I'll probably just try and go to the 2-hour mark today. Let me just check what my schedule was. Yeah, so tomorrow FireRed, the day after Legends EA, and then the day after that FireRed again. Okay. I hope this doesn't end up going to like 4,000 encounters or something. Because I've done a full odds hunt like that before. It was a Regidrago that I did a hunt for. And because the Shiny Charm doesn't affect the Regis in Sword and Shield, that was a full odds hunt on a single save file. I have gotten a few, like, max full odds hunts before, like 1 in 8,000 odds. In Pokemon Crystal, I got Shiny Celebi, so that was definitely a big one. I know I've done some hunts in Black and White too, but they've either been the guaranteed gift shinies, or they've had the Shiny Charm. Some full odds shinies I've gotten in Gen 4. I remember I got a shiny Bronzor at one point. That was one of my first, like, early gen shinies. I don't have it anymore because the save file's lost, but yeah, it was still a fun one to have while it lasted. Other shinies. With all my Oak challenges, I've gotten quite a few shinies, especially in Ruby. I've gotten like 5 or 6 shinies in Ruby. Maybe it's even 9 at this point. A couple of them were RNG'd, but the majority of them were just wild encounters. And I do have a few more Generation 3 shinies, which are RNG manipulated, but they're just the starters. So I've got 3 different save files with 3 different shiny Pokemon in them. But again, in this save file, there's absolutely no RNG manipulation, just the Blastoise, which I can still give the story of how I got the Blastoise. So I was watching through the Danmachi anime, because I was far behind on it, like at least 2 seasons. And I watched about 2 episodes while starting the hunt because I was bored, and then the shiny Squirtle just appeared, like out of nowhere. So I got really lucky with that. So I'm guessing it was maybe less than 100 encounters, roughly around that number. It did not take long at all to get that shiny. Okay. I keep thinking about my Ribbon Master. I keep thinking I want to either get the ribbon now or somehow wait till the next generation if it's got rank battles. If the next generation wins and waves doesn't have like online competitive on it, that might be concerning. But I think they probably would still have it. Because champions are its own division of competitive. And I'm just glad Mega Evolution is finally coming back to competitive. Because it's not been in competitive literally since Generation 7. That's almost 3 whole generations. I mean, sure, Dynamaxing and Terrestrialization was cool, but Mega Evolution is still the best mechanic in my opinion. Like, nothing can top it. Because what better way of proving the bond with your Pokemon than the ultimate pinnacle of power with Mega Evolution? And I'm kind of hoping that every new game that comes out with Winds and Waves and after that will just have some new Megas. Because in Legends ZA, they clearly prove that they don't need another Ultimate Weapon Fire just to have new Megas. Because they just casually made a Magianite. Like, they didn't even need the stone to be obtained. They just made it. So they could easily just create them within Kalos and just distribute them around the world. So there's no reason they can't just casually make new Megas every single generation. Even if it's not the focus mechanic. Like, they could still throw in maybe 5 or 6 new Megas. Like, every so often. Even if it's just, like, 6 new Megas in a single game. That's still something. And then 6 more with the DLCs, Part 1 and Part 2, combined to make 12. I just, at the very least, I want to see the remaining starter Pokemon get Mega Evolutions. So the remaining Johto and Unova starter Megas, because it feels weird having the trios incomplete. I mean, at least Typhlosion has a Hisuian form, so it's not completely left out. But Serperior is completely left out. Typhlosion and Samurott got something with a Hisuian form. But then they just had to have it so that it was 2 Johto starters getting Megas at the same time. At that point, they might as well have just included 2 sets of Megas that weren't just the Kalos or the Hoenn or the Kanto ones. Just give them all the Megas at that point. So the remaining Unova and Johto starters, the Sinnoh starters, and the Alola starters. I don't know about the Galar starters and beyond, the Galar starters and Palpatine starters. But maybe not the Alola starters. Now that I think about it, because they've all got their own thing. Like, the Alola starters have their own Z moves. The Galar starters have like Gigantamax forms. Maybe the Paldea starters could get something, because they don't have anything to go. They just have Terrestrialization, which is just a universal mechanic. They don't have anything unique to them. Because the only ones that got Terrestrial forms are the mascot legendaries of the DLC. Pokemon Champions is really fun. It really is! And Chiaki, do you know it's possible to get shiny Pokemon in Champions? Like, without, like, copying the data from home? You could just get a shiny Pokemon when you do some recruitment. Because I got a shiny male Basket Legion from it. I didn't even realize it was shiny to begin with. I just saw it was sparkling. Like, it had a backdrop of sparkles to it. I thought, oh, something's going on with that. Then I realized it was shiny. So obviously I claimed it. Like, I'm not going to turn down a free shiny. And since the male one is considered the best form because of the stats, I might use it in my rain team when I build. So one Pokemon I seem to have good victories with in Champions so far. It's actually Orthworm. I've gotten the most KOs with an Orthworm so far. That thing is really bulky. I've never really used one before. I didn't realize how good it was. Set up one iron defense and body press basically KOs anything that's not physically defensive. And then in case there's any like ghost types, so there's heavy slam as an option. Maybe if I do decide to stream Pokemon Champions, I'll show off the singles team I've got planned. I do have a doubles team in preparation, but I need to get a Mamoswine for my final Pokemon, and I think you know where I'm going with that. I want to have my Ribbon Master for my final team member. Although, with how well I'm doing with singles, I probably could just easily switch it onto my singles team. Because if for some reason Champions has ribbons, like the Rank Master ribbon, then maybe I could get the Mamoswine's ribbon in that game. Like from the data mines we've seen so far, I mean the only data mines we've really seen are like mega abilities. That's really it. Just the new abilities, the abilities for the new megas. Returning Pokemon, which is still Salty Swampert. Not. He has a mega. Just bring all the megas back straight away. Let me just double check the rule set, see if I need an updated picture of the thing. Submission rules. Okay, it just says the trainer card. It doesn't say whether it needs to be updated. Oh, where am I going? Here. Set. Okay. Sorry, just messaging someone. Okay. And that probably advanced my frames a lot. I've still got the mindset of RNG. I need to stop that. Ah, what am I doing? What is this? Oh. Okay, I didn't realize the up and down arrow keys changed the scenes. Oopsies! I did not know that. I mean, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have known that to begin with, because the video scene, the open stream layout scene are so far apart from each other. Okay. We're closing in on 200 accounts. I might be able to squeak in at 250. That might seem reasonable. I also realized I haven't played Pokopia in a while. Like, I made it to the Bleak Beach area, and I just not made any progress on it yet. I mean, to be honest, I think I was distracted by the Tomodachi Life demo. Just creating the faces got me distracted. Originally, I did the eyes with face paint, but then after realizing that it'd be completely expressionless, yeah, I decided to do regular eyes and only add face paint for like custom hair. Because with like the three Miis I've done in the Tomodachi Life demo, I've done Kyokujiro, Momo Yairozu, and my OC. And I've only had to do custom hair for Kyoka because her hair has a bit of a special detail to it. And plus, her earphone jack. Because you can't exactly put a cable into a Mii ear. So I had to use the face paint to create that one earphone jack. Because I'm basing all of the Miis off their epilogue states. Ugh. So they'll all be up to date for their last appearance in the story. So yeah, when I end up having to do Miruko, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to use the face paint for her. Just because of her ears. Yeah, I might have to do custom hair for her as well. Don't want to name it. Oh. Almost at 200 encounters. If this was an older game, maybe with Shiny Charm mods, that'd be really good, a lot of progress. But obviously, because this is the lowest possible odds for shiny hunting, that's not including like really rare stuff like Jirachi, then yeah, we're still a long ways away from hitting a decent odd, or hitting decent odds. It's literally another 8,000 encounters before we hit odds. And somehow I doubt we're even gonna surpass 1,000 by the time this event's over. But hey, it's worth a shot, and we're having fun while doing it, so that's all that matters. And I do want to get this shiny Eevee eventually anyway, so even if I don't get it during the stream, at least I've made a good chunk of progress trying to get it. So I think I'll share what my main team might be. So Blastoise, Snorlax, Hitmonlee, Aerodactyl, Jolteon, and Moltres. So it's mostly just gonna be reset Pokemon. I'm kind of doing what Smolan did when he did his shiny only run of Heart Gold. So only going for the Pokemon you soft reset for. Oh yeah, one other thing. One thing in the rules, if you do use an emulator, you're not allowed to use speed up, because that could get you disqualified as well. I mean, I get why. Because then you'd probably get way too many shinies with the speed up method. I've never really used speed up. I think a couple of times I tried it with the emulator, but I could never control the character well. Like in the overworld. And plus, I'm so used to not using it that I've just got used to it at this point. Yeah. $202. I do wonder how long it will take for the Pokemon Company to decide, oh, let's just add Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald to the Switch as well. Because I feel like that'd be another big moneymaker. Ruby and Sapphire, and then later on Emerald. Because obviously, if you release all three at once, no one's going to buy Ruby and Sapphire. Everyone's going to buy Emerald. Maybe they'll buy Sapphire to get some of the version exclusives. But yeah. It would have to be how Gold, Silver, and Crystal was done. Just release the original two versions to start with, then a few months later release the definitive version. Because obviously lots of people are going to love Emerald. And maybe they'll use this as a chance to fix the RNG. Because with the FireRed Leaf Green games, they've proven that they will go back into the code and fix some things. Like sorting out Raw, the Raw glitch, so it doesn't completely despawn the beast when it happens. So they've proven they can fix glitches. So maybe if they re-release Emerald, maybe they'll fix the bad RNG. Maybe they'll fix the bugged RNG, and then the RNG will work just like it did in Ruby and Sapphire. No more RNG clones to worry about. I mean, serious, I don't think I'll be doing RNG manipulation when it comes to if Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald do re-release on the Switch, just because they're gonna have permanent battery. They'll probably have to recode the game a little bit, just so it doesn't get tied to the battery, but rather tied to the Switch's internal clock. Since the battery's only there for time-based events, so if we just time it to the internal clock, then that's probably how they'll get things sorted. So all the berries, the Shoal Cave, Mirage Island, all that kind of stuff. I fully expect that they'll probably be sorted out with a Ruby Sapphire Emerald re-release. And with event Pokemon, well, Ruby and Sapphire won't really get that much, to be honest, but they don't really have anything that's exclusive to them. maybe each one would get the Eon ticket, and maybe that's it. And then Emerald would get the old Snap alongside the, what was the ticket? The one for Ho-Oh and Lugia. I don't remember if it was the Aurora ticket or the. I don't remember if the Aura ticket was the Mystic. It was probably the Mystic ticket. But maybe Emerald will also give the Mystic ticket. Hey, who knows? Maybe they'll just have just a Mew. But they'll still need to find a way to incorporate Celebi and Jirachi. Because since Colosseum is not going to be connectable to home, that was normally the only way to get those two Pokemon in Gen 3. And now they're going to have to find another way to put them onto the Switch. At least Jirachi, you can get one in BSP really early. But there's still no way to get Celebi on the Switch without just connecting to Bank or Go. Because that Pokemon still hasn't been future-proofed. I mean, it technically was, but you need to still be able to have Pokemon Crystal and Pokemon Bank. If you don't have those two applications, it's not future-proofed. And then when it comes to the Switch legendaries and mythicals, there's a few that are still missing. So, Zarude is still missing. It doesn't have a permanent event. What else was there? I guess Gigantamax Melmetal doesn't have a permanent event. Because you need Pokemon Go to connect to home in order to get the Gmax Melmetal. But what if Pokemon Go shuts down? They'll need another way to get the Gmax Melmetal. And they're not going to go back to Sword and Shield just to update Melmetal to be able to drink the Max Soup anymore. They're not going to go back just to fix that. They'll need to find a new way to get it. Like, maybe if we revisit Galar at some point, maybe they'll create a new kind of Gmax Soup just to be able to Gigantamax Melmetal specifically. Or maybe even Shiny Hunt it. Or at the very least, evolve the current Shiny Meltan we have in home. Because we have a Shiny Meltan, but we can't evolve it yet. There's no way to evolve it outside of Pokemon Go. So they need to figure that out. Because they had a chance in Legends ZA, but they just had Melmetal be a gift Pokemon, while Meltan was a catchable Pokemon. Hey, at least now, Melmetal has been future-proofed. At least it's been future-proofed now. Meltan was originally future-proofed when it got its distribution from Pokemon Home, while completing the Let's Go Pokédex. That was when it got future-proofed, but now Melmetal has been future-proofed with Legends ZA. So, yeah, I feel like if we do eventually get a Galar revisit, which I hope it doesn't happen for a long time. Yeah, I hope Gmax Melmetal and Zarude, at the very least, get future-proofed in that future Galar game. Honestly, I hope it'll probably be. I hope the next Legends Galar, if it there's a Legends Galar game, the next Galar game, it'll probably be Legends. I hope it doesn't happen until the next console, because it's too soon for another Galar. Because if we're gonna get another region revisit, I want it to be Unova. Just because I love Unova. And the Blueberry Academy, no, that doesn't count. There's They might say it's in Unova, but there's nothing showing it's actually in Unova. Like they don't even show any landmarks like over the sea. Like when you're in the entrance, you could look over the ocean. You could maybe see Castelia City, but no, you can't. Can't see Castelia City. Can't see any kind of landmark from Unova. So if we are so close to Unova, how come we can't see any landmarks? I've said it once, I'll say it again. If it really was in Unova, we'd see the Castelia City, or the Castelia City skyline. We would have seen that in the background. If that was there, I would be convinced. But nothing. I mean, besides the battle music, it doesn't really scream Unova much to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved the music remix in the Blueberry Academy. Because that's the closest we've had to a Unova remake. Just the music, some of the music. It seems like Pokemon can have marks. Wait, in Champions? Like, you mean, like, from the recruitment? Huh. I should probably have a look at some of my Pokemon. I thought I only saw a Skeleton sociable because it was probably a home transfer. I thought it was a home transfer. That's why I thought it had a mark. I mean, to be honest, it would make sense. If you can get a shiny Pokemon from the recruitment, it would make sense to get marks. But surprisingly, they decided to bring them back after removing them from ZA. I mean, then again, maybe the Legends games just don't focus on marks. We passed the 20-minute mark. So let's see if I can get to 250 encounters. Because as usual, I'm probably going to finish 2 hours. They're referred to as titles. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Because when you do equip a mark or a ribbon, it does give the Pokemon a title, so that makes sense. So if ribbons and if marks are in the game, is it possible for ribbons to be acquired in the game? Because if the Rank Master ribbon is available to obtain in Champions, I might send in my Mamoswine and just get the ribbon there, rather than doing it in Scarlet Violet, because I'd rather deal with Mega Evolution than Terrestrialization. And plus, I won't have to worry about Legendary Pokemon anymore. I think the only technically Legendary Pokemon is the Eternal Flower Floette, but even then, it's just based on it's just a regular Floette with higher stats, and can Mega Evolve. So, it makes kind of sense as to why it's there. But besides that, there are basically 0 legendary Pokemon in Champions, and I hope it stays that way. I don't want to see legendaries anymore. So, yeah, if we can get the Rank Master ribbon in Champions, I will finish my Ribbon Master within Champions. Because I've already got the majority of my doubles team planned. Oh, and my single. I've got my singles team completely done. I've made some progress on the ranking board there. But since I've got to completely get to the Master rank before the end of the month, if it is confirmed that we can get the Rank Master ribbon, then I will import my Mamoswine over to Champions just to get the ribbon. And then that'll be as many ribbons as I can possibly get on that Mamoswine. And while I don't think many ice types will be available in Winds and Waves, Maybe there'll be some cave encounters where they can be ice type Pokemon, because that's how Hoenn worked. That was a tropical region, and the way they incorporated ice types was just by chucking them into a cave. And I guess the same way for Alola, in a way. So there's a cave or a mountain peak. Maybe that could be the way they incorporate the ice type regions. I mean, they kind of have to. It'd be weird to have a region without any ice types. Oh, I should actually... No! I need to actually obtain my Pokemon. There we go. Wait, I should probably double check I actually put on the right assets. Showdown. Let me just make sure I actually put the right assets on. Yes, I did. Okay. Good. So that means the team I am on is currently in the lead by 2 points. Which might not seem like a lot, but with Gen 3 Shinies, that's a huge difference. And before stream started, a Shiny Eevee and a Shiny Abra were obtained, one for each team. So it seems like soft resets is a common thing, because maybe not everybody has a way to get the weight, because, I mean, yeah, now I think about it. Without the Hoenn games, you physically cannot get a white flute in FireRed Leaf Green without using arbitrary code execution, which I'm pretty sure counts as a glitch, and would be on rules of disqualification in this. I mean, now I've reached Celadon, I could in theory do arbitrary code execution now, but I'm not going to yet. Because me no until yet. Maybe I'll wait until I've maybe done the Champion League. Once I've done the championships, maybe I'll go back and do the code execution in this day file, which is a long way away because I already have 3 badges. Just because my Pokemon are a bit low level. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could have a Farfetch'd on my team, but since I only want to do shiny Pokemon, the only way to get a shiny Farfetch'd is to use the eggs, and you kind of need to be in the post game to do that. I'm pretty sure trade Pokemon are shiny locked. I actually don't know how they work. I don't know if they're shiny huntable or not, but even if they were, I'm pretty sure egg hunting would be more efficient. Okay. Almost at 250. See, I'll finish once we reach 250 encounters. Wait, on that topic I was on about earlier, about those One Piece figures I've got on the way, I don't think I would show them on stream, because honestly, with how Twitch is, they'd probably ban me if I showed them on stream. I mean, they're fine to show, but Twitch would probably have a problem, because we know what Twitch is like. So I'll probably take pictures of them, post them onto the Discord to show. But Yeah, of course, my first One Piece figures are gonna be Nami and Robin. I considered getting a figure of Bonnie, but the one I was after was a bit too expensive. So I just chose the cheaper ones. Okay. One more encounter and I'll finish up. No, it's not quite 2 hours yet, but close enough. Alright. That's 250 encounters in roughly 2 hours. So for me at least, I'm going to call it a day. I'll probably do another 250 encounters tomorrow. And obviously on Friday, I'm not going to be doing the shiny hunting because I'll be doing a monotype challenge with Celestic in Pokemon Legends EA, which I'm looking forward to. Anyways, for now, this has been BiriboFukuro signing off. Bye-bye!